In this video, I'll be teaching you what is npm and why it's very useful. So let's get started. Um, let's make a new file. Let's call it index.js. This is going to be our main file. So inside of our terminal, we, there's Node comes with something called npm. It's Node Package Manager, which you can use for installing packages and dealing with packages overall that are online. So I could do npm install and then a package name, for example, read line sync. I'll be explaining this. This just basically installs. You see here it says node modules. Npm install it like finds the name, like in this case read line sync, and just like puts it in the node modules. Now you might say, well, this is useful for, but how do we access it? Like if we're just going to be installing stuff that we want, how do we access it? We can declare a variable, so we can say const module, for example. In this case, instead of module, let's do readline equals requires like used for node modules and and JSON files sometimes. It can also be used for like the accessing other JavaScript files with exports and stuff. I'll be covering exports in another video, but this just imports the package into our file. So now we like the module of readline sync. Here says readline sync has like many functions that can help us like, so we can do question, for example. Let's say what is your name, and then here it like is this is what's gonna say. And here they're like you can put an object with some options like hide echo back to true if you wanted to like be like a password type. So you could do like node index.js or node dots, and it says what's your name here because it's like a password type, because we put hide echo back to true. That's a password type. If you don't want it to like be like a password, you can just remove that. I think there's other configs, but that's like the main one. So what is my name? My name like is testing, for example, and this actually returns the input. So we can say let name equal to this, like to the result of this. So we can then just console.log with the backticks. We can use hello and then name. So let's run this. Testing, hello testing. Okay, so now you see that it literally just returned the value. You can use the value for many things. This is just one library. There's many others, but there's like a small one that's easy to like get a hold of, because some are like a bit more complex. They have more functions. They're more powerful, but this is still really powerful because you can like access the user inputs, which you can't without this module unless you make it, obviously. But like there's also npm. It makes a package lock.json, which just tells like other, if you want to make like another if you want to make a package, you do npm init, and then you can type anything, like you can type any description, any version, any package name, any entry point, any test command, anything. I don't want to do that, so you can do the npm init -y if you want it to be default values. This is just gonna create an insta, like if everything was default value. And here it's like all of our stuff. You really wouldn't want to call it npm, because if you want to like put it in npm, it would be like npm/npm, which would be a bit confusing. But for the sake of this tutorial, I'll just be calling npm. You can call it whatever you want. Now you can do npm uninstall, and then we can type like the name, for example, read line and then sync. Oh wait, it's like read line sync, sorry. And this just removes the dependency. you could say, from our project. Now, if you were to get like files of GitHub, I'll be explaining GitHub in a future video. But if you were to get files of GitHub, um, you could do npm install, which would just install all the packages that are inside of the package.json. So that could be useful. Like if you just installed a repo that doesn't have the node modules, which is like 99% of the time, because you probably wouldn't want all the node modules in the repository if you want to just see the source. So npm install can be of good use if you want to install all the packages that are inside of here. Now there's also the dev dependencies and others, like there's many with the package.json, there's many configs. I don't want to go in depth, but just know that there's dev dependencies and normal dependencies. In a future video I'll be covering Express. If you want to install multiple packages in one command, you can do npm install, then first name, like the first package, and then a space, and then the second package. For example, you want to install Express and Mongoose, you do npm install Express and then a space and then Mongoose. You can add more packages if you want to, like if you wanted to install Discord.js, like if you want to implement OAuth thing. I'll be covering, like I'll be making a series for Discord and everything, and Express in like, yeah, it's gonna be another completely different series, but this is just like very basic. So you can just like reinstall it, for example. And here you see it says the dependencies. You can, a good dev dependency, like you can make it a real dependency, but this is like a more of a dev dependency. Would be nodemon, which just the option whatever. Just this is more like a dev dependency. You really wouldn't want it to run like your actual thing. Here you see, but there was like another command that made it so it went here, but there's like npm has many like flags, you can say, like so those node, like you can do dash dash save dash dash no dash there, for example. um yeah, there's many like flags, um like unrestricted mode and stuff like that, but those aren't really gonna go into this series because they're like so many that you just need to memorize them and you learn them over time. um that's been like I've like readline also has many other ones, but I will just be covering question because question is like one of the most useful ones. That's been like npm. I hope this like helps you with most of the like npm related things. If you have any questions, make sure to leave them in the comments below. Thank you for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe, and see you next time. Bye.